What? Yeah.
Go up on him and hang up on him.
Terence Crawford has officially kicked off his final training camp ahead of the mega showdown with Canelo Alvarez. Former champion Danny Jacobs praised Crawford, calling him a dog and a beast with something to prove, which makes this fight so compelling. Jacobs labeled it a true 50-50 matchup, but admitted that if forced to bet, he'd lean toward Crawford, while still giving full respect to Canelo as the rightful favorite who should never be underestimated.
The dog, prove something too, so I'm excited about this fight. Canelo obviously is self-explanatory. There's really no need to go down the rabbit hole when it comes to him, but I do see this being as a 50-50 fight. But if I was a betting man, I would bet on Crawford, but also too, you can't count Canelo out. I mean, would go in, I'm assuming, as the favorite.
Roy Jones Jr. weighed in on the upcoming clash, saying he likes the matchup, but sees Canelo Alvarez with only one clear path to victory, while Terence Crawford has three. Jones stopped short of calling Crawford the favorite, but stressed that if Canelo executes his lone strategy, it could shift the entire fight. However, if he fails to do so, Jones believes Crawford will take over and get the win.
I like the fight. I think Canelo has one way to win it. Crawford has three ways to win it.
So would that mean that you make Terence a favourite?
I ain't gonna say the favorite, but Canelo got one way to win it. If he does that one thing, it nullifies everything. If he don't, then boy, gonna be.
Terence Crawford has now entered the final stage of his training camp, zeroing in on refining technique and polishing his game plan. His sparring partners have been chosen to mirror Canelo's style, giving him a taste of what to expect on fight night. Crawford's camp has placed heavy emphasis on timing, accuracy, and defense, ensuring that when the bell rings, he'll be as sharp and prepared as possible. In addition to technical work, Crawford's conditioning has now hit peak form. He's endured punishing cardio drills, explosive strength sessions, and stamina and power. Recovery has been just as critical. Ice baths, stretching routines, and a carefully managed diet keep his body primed. At this stage, Crawford is fine-tuning every detail, preparing to stay sharp, strong, and explosive from the opening bell to the very last round.
What? Yeah.
Go up on him and hang up on him.
Furthermore, Stephen Fulton voiced his support for Terence Crawford, noting that it's not a slight against Canelo Alvarez, whom he still respects as a great fighter. Fulton highlighted Crawford's courage in stepping up to face a bigger opponent, calling it a true show of heart beyond financial motivation. He added that if Crawford fully leans on his boxing skills, the fight tilts in his favor, and a victory here would take his legacy and resume to another level.
Always went with Crawford this fight. It's nothing against Canelo, because Canelo's a hell of a fighter. I don't know how he is as a person. Neither guy, I don't know how neither of them are as a person, but I like Crawford for challenging himself. Like, that's the type of things I do and I've done. So I like anybody that's willing to challenge themselves. Whether it's money or not, you still have the heart to go in there and challenge the bigger guy. So, but I think it's gonna be I think if Crawford uses his boxing ability, then it'd be a better fight for him. Crawford wins, then it makes his resume.
Ade Oladipo commented that the undisputed super middleweight title fight feels like it's lacking excitement. He noted that since Canelo Alvarez now speaks fluent English, a heated face-off with someone like Max Kellerman could have added more drama to the build-up. Instead, the promotion feels a bit flat. Oladipo pointed out that neither Canelo nor Terence Crawford relies on trash talk. which makes the hype less intense compared to the big fight promotions of the last 15 to 20 years.
But this is an undisputed super middleweight title fight. It just feels a bit lacking of something. I can't believe that Max Kellerman is now part of this. And again, for nostalgia, we haven't got a Max Kellerman face-off. Like how Canelo speaks great English now. How we haven't got that? Just to kind of give it a bit of spice, because Canelo, with his English, it's like he's only learnt the bad words. He does chat a lot of shit. I feel like it's lacking something. Like maybe because both of them don't trash talk either. Because when I think of the biggest fights of the last sort of 15, 20 years, you've always had one side of the fight or one side who's a big trash talker. Canelo ain't saying anything. Crawford ain't saying anything. Feels a bit flat.
Andy Lee said he can't choose a winner between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, but is thrilled for what he believes will be a fantastic fight. He praised both men for their past performances, recalling Crawford's wins over Sean Porter and Jose Benavidez, as well as Canelo's battles with Gennady Golovkin. Lee expects Crawford to sit down on his punches more to gain respect in the ring, but emphasized that both are elite fighters, making the matchup too close to call.
I'll pick a winner. I'm just excited for the great fight that it's going to be. We have had some great fights. And Crawford and Canelo have been in some of the great fights. Crawford against Porter, I think that's one of the best fights. Crawford against Benavidez, that's one of my favorite fights as well. When you look at Canelo against Golovkin, oh, what fights they were. So I can see this one being the same between these two.
You can see Terence maybe planting his feet a little bit more.
Well, I can see I think he'll have to. One thing about him is, and you can see, he's well, for want of a better word, he's no bitch. Crawford, he's gonna want to get his respect in there. I can't pick it because they're just two great fighters, and I'm just happy.
Ronnie Shields predicted that Terence Bud Crawford will come out on top. He believes Crawford has matured as a fighter, looks sharp in training, and is mentally locked in. Shields pointed out that Canelo Alvarez is aging and already showed signs of slowing down in his fight with William Skull. He said it's Crawford's speed, not just power, that will trouble Canelo. According to Shields, if Crawford wins, it would go down as one of the top 10 greatest victories in boxing history.
My answer has been Bud Crawford.
Okay.
And I just see Bud is maturing into the fighter that he wants to be. And he's doing it for himself, not for anybody else. And so that means, I watch little clips of him training and doing different things, and I can see a big difference in Bud right now. Bud is mentally strong, and, Canelo is getting older.
Right.
And when he fought William School in his last fight, I saw a big difference in Canelo. But I think Bud is going to be faster and, not stronger, but he's going to use his speed that's going to throw Canelo off. And I really and truly believe Bud Crawford is going to win this fight. Well, I think it's definitely ranking in the top 10 of the all great wins.
Robert Garcia said the fight is tough to call because while Canelo Alvarez is big and strong, he hasn't been hunting knockouts lately and often fights flat-footed, relying on single shots. Garcia leaned toward Canelo possibly winning, but admitted he wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford pulled off a decision victory with his superior footwork, speed, and quick combinations that could frustrate Canelo and allow him to edge out a close fight.
Tough one to pick because Canelo's big, strong, but lately Canelo hasn't really gone for the knockout. He doesn't really try to knock his opponents out. Little flat-footed, throws one punch at a time. So I think Canelo wins the fight, but I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford pulls off a decision because Crawford has great and great speed also. He could throw 2-3 punch combinations and move and probably confuse Canelo and maybe come out with a win with a decision. I'm excited.
Bernard Hopkins said Terence Crawford has a real shot because of his heart, talent, and strategic approach, but reminded everyone that Canelo Alvarez is no pushover. He praised the matchup as the best fighting the best and credited Crawford for daring to be great by stepping up to this challenge. Hopkins added that this is how fighters make history and said he, along with millions of others, will be watching closely to see how it all unfolds.
He have a great chance because of his heart, his talent, and also his game plan and his strategy. But Canelo is no pushover. I've watched Canelo for multiple years. Again, the best is fighting the best. And Crawford dared to be great. And this is one of the ways you do it. And you tell the world, watch, pay attention, and watch me make history. I will be one of those watching amongst millions of other people.
David Benavidez said Terence, but Crawford definitely has a real chance to beat Canelo Alvarez, highlighting Crawford's ring IQ and experience as key advantages. However, he also noted the challenge ahead, pointing out that Crawford is moving up 2 full weight classes after recently competing at 154 pounds, making it uncertain how well he will adapt to such a leap.
David, does Bud have a chance against Canelo?
I think he does, bro. I think if anybody can beat Canelo, I think Bud, his IQ, and his experience will definitely help him through. It's just that, you know what I mean? He's going up 2 other weight classes when he had just went up to 154. So we'll see what happens.
Jose Benavidez Sr. said he does not see Terence Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez because the size difference is simply too much, nearly 3 divisions apart. He explained that no matter how much Crawford bulks up, Canelo will remain the naturally bigger man and likely win on points. Benavidez Sr. added that Crawford won't stand and trade, which is what Canelo would prefer, but still expects Canelo to outpoint him by moving smartly and controlling the fight.
I don't see Terence Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez. He's too big. It's almost 3 divisions, you know. Canelo's too big for Crawford. It doesn't matter how much he eats, how much he becomes bigger that night. But at the end of the day, anything can happen. Maybe, hopefully we can have a big upset. But at the end of the day, I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think Crawford is not going to stand there and trade with Canelo. And Canelo will love that. But I think Canelo's going to beat him by points and move around. Hopefully with that weight, he can still move and get away.
Teddy Atlas voiced his support for Terence Crawford, saying the September 13th fight reminds him of when Manny Pacquiao faced Oscar de la Hoya. He admitted he's made this comparison before, even if some disagreed. Despite Canelo Alvarez's recent performances, Atlas said his confidence in Crawford hasn't changed. He still backs him to win.
September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
I think I said this before people killed me. I said that this reminds me, and it could be like Pacquiao when he fought De La Hoya. So at the end of the day, looking forward off of the last fight with Canelo, I like Crawford every bit as much as I did before that Canelo fight.
Johnny Nelson said the matchup is an excellent one, praising Terence Crawford as a brilliant fighter, but leaning toward Canelo Alvarez being too strong and having just a bit too much for him. He credited Crawford for chasing the challenge and noted that Crawford may have seen something in Canelo's recent performance against William Skull that others overlooked. Nelson added that many now view Canelo as no longer the dominant 97% version of himself, and Crawford may believe he belongs to the 20% of fighters capable of beating him.
Great fight, really good fight. His fight's finally there. Crawford, a brilliant fighter. Canelo, I think he beats 97% of fights that are out there. I think Canelo will be too strong for him. I think Canelo will just have a little bit too much for him. And I think Crawford, I respect him massively because he said, yo, I want this. He might have seen something we haven't seen, but I just think it's just a step a little too far in my book.
A few people have changed their opinions on the back of Canelo's performance against William Skull. Do you think Crawford will take any more confidence from that?
Without a doubt. And that's what I'm saying. You saw that fight and you thought, what are you doing? And maybe Crawford saw something before we did. He's slipping. He's no longer that 97% fighter. He's now that 80% fighter. And I mean that top 20 that you can't beat. And so he's probably, because he's studied him and watched him over and over again, he's probably seen something we haven't. But the first time we saw an inkling of that.
This fight, in a lot of ways, early on, could be a very interesting fight because it's one that like works in the rhythm of both guys. Because this is what Canelo does and what he likes to do. And I'm okay if I'm only getting elbows, and I'm okay if I'm swinging and I'm missing, because I'm gonna catch up to you eventually, you know. Bud is not gonna move so far out of the way that he can't do it.